well and narrating the entire incident, being the sole eyewitness and an important eyewitness in the case to back the complainant's version what may have happened on board that flight. We have Mr. Sarosh Damania with us as well, aviation expert. Sir, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast. If we talk about the legal implications here of a possible cover-up on part of the crew, the captain and the co-pilot in this case, sir, because there is a complainant and there is an eyewitness in the case, what happens now, sir?
See, now, as far as him being arrested, now, of course, once the police have arrested him, he'll be produced before the magistrate within 24 hours. And upon being produced before the magistrate will decide that how many days of police custody is required for investigation. Thereafter, of course, after the police custody, once thereafter a judicial custody is given, then only he can apply for a bail or something. But as far as the captain and the commander of the flight are concerned, of course, they have also been very negligent. They have failed to follow the regulations laid down by the DGCA. That is very specific that the unruly passenger should have been isolated and he should have been handed over to police on that specific day. There is a delay in nabbing him or arresting him. It is not because of the police, but it is because of these people, the Air India crew's negligence of not handing him over on the same day. And of course, crucial investigation or crucial evidence might have been lost because of the delay.
But also that you mentioned the DGCA, sir. The DGCA has been saying that the incident was not even reported to them in the first place. They wanted just to hush up the matter, and what happened if the plane remains there? I mean, it just didn't come out to even to the ground staff or to the people there outside the plane. So what happens as far as the DGCA's role here is concerned, because they've already sought for a report?
See, the DGCA has also sought for a report also that has been very belatedly sought about. That is a show cause notice which has been issued to the airlines, of course, the airlines officer, the concerned crew members and the airlines executive officers. But there should be some stern form of action. Now, it is a factual incident. DGCA themselves say that they were not informed. So, of course, prima facie, that makes out a matter that there was a lapse in information or Air India failed to report the incident which they should have reported. So they have tried to just resolve the incident on their own, which they are not supposed to do. The law is very clear that they have to report the incident and hand over the unruly passenger. But they failed to follow it, they failed to report, they failed to hand over the passenger. In this case, of course, the question should be raised upon the Air India management and upon the crew of the flight. Why was it? What was the reason behind not assisting the victim properly or not following up with the police or not even informing the DGCA, which for minor matters also are supposed to be informed. Any matter, and of course it is not something that the plane landed in New York and they got down. The plane landed in Delhi. It is in the DGCA's jurisdiction. Air India is an Indian registered airline. The aircraft is an Indian registered aircraft. DGCA should have been informed there and that time only.
But what role is of the DGCA now, sir? Mr. Parvez Damania is also with us.
Have done their duty, but I wish better sense had prevailed upon him, and he had surrendered in the first place. So now I think with the eyewitnesses coming forward and him arrested, I think the case will become much stronger, and there'll be more evidences to prosecute this man.
But Mr. Damania, the time that has been lost, we're looking at 40 days, sir, time period, sir. Would it have any impact on the case whatsoever?
I don't think there will be any impact on the case, because if there's sufficiency, it's a criminal case, so there is no time limitations. And since if the complainant stands firm on the ground and goes to the case, I don't think it will have any impact. The very fact that he was absconding will make his case even difficult. The minute he knew that the police were on the lookout, and he himself should have gone and surrendered. The fact that he's absconding will make his bail papers even more difficult now. I don't think there will be any impact on the case. On the contrary, the police case will become stronger. And now even the air hostesses and pilots all will give their evidences. So the case will become a watertight case, I think.
All right. Remains to be seen what happens next, as he will be produced before the court this afternoon. Thank you very much, Mr. Parvez Damania, for your point of view. Deepa, coming back to you on that. If you can tell us about the eyewitness account, that does it mention that the number of drinks that were actually served to this passenger, Mr. Mishra?
Well, the eyewitness has certainly not, written about the number of drinks consumed by Mishra, but this letter goes on to show that Air India has taken a victim's complaint as a joke, because it was not just the victim who was distressed, even the eyewitness, and this is just one of many eyewitnesses. You will never know how many complaints were suppressed, because this is the only one that has come to the fore. But here also he has mentioned that the incident may have multifaceted part to it. A senior citizen was subjected to trauma due to indeficiency of a passenger. She, being a female, had no idea how to cope with the obscenity, and this happened because the captain was complacent. The crew members paid no heed to her complaints, and even though there were vacant seats, they didn't provide her with a replacement. And this comes after, about 40 days. 40 days, what was the airlines doing for 40 days? Why didn't they, bring this matter to the fore? Why were eyewitness accounts ignored? So all these questions are now mounting on Air India, and they should actually come out and answer these questions, Amita.
Well, several unanswered questions that still remain there, but Mr. Sarosh Damania, as the time that may have been something of crucial essence, because a lot of time that has been lost because of the inaction. In fact, when it comes to even not reporting the incident, even to the airline top brass, or even when it comes to the DCGA. But the DCGA on its own account, sir, what action can the body actually take up against this man, or even the airlines?
See, as far as with the passengers, under the unruly passenger things, they can of course put him on a no-fly list, but they are first awaiting the Air India's internal report, which has not yet been submitted. Once the report is submitted, the DGCA, there are 3 categories in the no-fly list: level 1, level 2, and level 3. So therefore 3 months, there are different categories. So I suppose such an incident, he deserves to be given the level 3 and maximum flight ban. I think flight ban for life should be given in such a case, because this is a shameful incident, and
that should be extended on this individual.
So within 30 days time of the internal investigation takes 30 days in Air India, they should submit the report. Once they submit the report, it is the DGCA who will take a decision upon the recommendation made by the Air India what category of level ban should be given. And as far as that delay is concerned, of course, lot of crucial evidence has been lost. We have seen that already the victim's clothes were given for dry cleaning. The seats which were the seat which was there, of course, the airline crew might have got it cleaned. The evidence, lot of crucial evidence which would have been helpful to the police for the case, has been lost because of the delay, and because of course Air India, I believe
the complainant had to say that her clothes were soiled, her shoes were soiled, her bag was soiled, that contained different important documents, including the passport she was given, some pajamas or some clothes to be worn by the staff, and that is something that she wore even outside the plane when she had deboarded, because she wanted to raise the issue with the crew, with the staff, but no one actually reached out to her, and she was left there waiting for over 30 minutes. But Mr. Damania, even as the case that seems to be progressing, to counter to water it down, I mean, the said compensation, a meager one whatsoever, and in a way to confront direct confrontation with the accused, just to apologize, as to say sorry, and the matter is done and dusted with. Would it be added, as far as the case is concerned, in a way to buy the silence of the victim?
They were trying to get the matter resolved, which is totally unlawful. As I told you earlier also, they cannot confront it is unlawful to confront the victim with the perpetrator, which they have done. The Air India's actions of trying to do that is also illegal. That is against the law. So they should have never done that. That being done also, paying me either 15,000 rupees or something is not going to abscond of the crime. It is like I come and stab you and then go tomorrow, take you to the hospital and say, oh, I'd stab you, but I'm sorry, I took you to the hospital. That is why I am not liable for stabbing you. So it is something like that. It is something petty. They have come out with these WhatsApp chats of the victim and everything, but that is not going to help. This is the admission of the fact that he committed the offense. This shows his own statement, his own actions are showing that yes, he has committed the offense and he tried to cover it up. This is actually in one way admission of guilt, which is more worse than getting out of the situation.
Oh, but the legal counsel of the individual and his father seems to be saying that the incident never happened and it is just hearsay because there are no eyewitnesses. If we are talking about the eyewitness here in the case, because it becomes all the more crucial to build upon a watertight case against Mr. Mishra, whose now latest pictures are now doing the rounds. This is right the first picture post his arrest. Let's listen into the eyewitness account as well.